Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Your Best Life with Eziaha. You are hearing the voice of Eziaha. My name is Eziaha Bolaji Olojo. And on this channel, Your Best Life with Eziaha, we talk about faith and basically Jesus. We talk about family. I especially love to talk to stay-at-home moms who I call God's domestic queens. We talk about leadership because if you're a leader, you have a very important role. And I truly believe that every one of us has been called to leadership. And finally, we talk about fitness, weight loss, healthy living, the whole 9 yards. Coach E is in the building to speak to you too. I also write about all 4 things on my blog, which I'm linking down below in this YouTube video. Okay, so for this episode, we are going to be talking about family, basically how to treat children with respect. This is part 2 of a video that I already started, so you can check the link down below for part 1, and we can jump right into part 2, but I could do a bit of a refresher. It started from this time I took my kids for the first time to the dental clinic, and my son had told me when we got back that the lady hit him. So I call them and the lady says, no, they don't hit children and all of that. But, I had left, so there was not much I could do. But I made a mental note to talk about it on my platform because it's not okay to disrespect children. Respect is reciprocal. But typically we talk about it when we're talking to adults. It's like, of course, with adults, respect me, I respect you. But no. Respect is reciprocal for human beings. Every human being deserves respect, no matter your age, your level, your status, your social standing, your financial level. We all just deserve respect as people created in the image of this amazing God. So yes, respect adults and respect children too. We can't only demand that our children respect us, then we go ahead and just treat children anyhow. No, children are also made in the image and likeness of God, so we must respect them. And just to bring balance to this, because I'm not suddenly saying that, hey, our children can just get away with anything, we shouldn't question them, we should respect them, they're basically your adults now. No, they're not adults, they're still children, and respecting them is different from condoning nonsense. You know me, I'm into discipline. I love discipline. So I'm not just saying that our children can just have this license to behave anyhow because we want to respect them. No, I'm saying that even when we're calling them out, even when we're correcting them, even when we have to discipline them, we still have to do it with respect as human beings. So like one of my favorite parenting heroes says, that's Lisa Biver, your children are not the center of your world. No, you have your world and then your children have to fit into that world. So when I say respect children, it doesn't mean that they're suddenly the center of your world and you have to do everything around them and make life all so easy for them. No. Or they suddenly can get away with murder because I say respect them. No, that's not what I mean. And as I keep going, you would understand even more. And please, I want to ask you to go back and watch or listen to part 1 of this episode because it will really give you the groundwork. In part 1, I talked about how respecting children would come first from how you treat yourself and how you allow others treat you, especially as a parent. So you want to check it out first and come back. Don't worry, this one will be waiting for you when you get back. Okay, dokes. Now, something else I want to say before I go on is that this is not only about your children. This is about every child. So whether you are a parent, which is great, or you just have access to children, maybe you're a doctor and you have to deal with children, or you're a Sunday school teacher, or you're a teacher in their school, or you're just in a profession that allows you to communicate a lot with children, or you're a neighbor who has children in her compound, or you're an auntie to children, whatever thing, we all have places and spaces and different things that make us connect with children. So I want you to think of it in that wide sense of children, not just my children, basically all children. Now, before I even go on to the 5 things I want to share, why is it important that we respect children? Look, as adults, you'll agree with me, but even especially as the parent, your children literally have you as the standard for what is right. And just adults in general, if you are a teacher, your children see you as someone who models good behavior. Your children see you as, oh, this person is always right, because you are an adult, and let's face it, we've also made them feel like, yes, I'm always right, right? Yes. So you're setting the standards that they see as correct. So if you disrespect children, speak anyhow to children, shove and push children anyhow, you are modeling to them that it's okay to treat children like this. They don't have value. And guess what? As they grow, they continue to perpetuate this cycle. This vicious cycle just continues. They grow and they talk to children anyhow too. And you'd agree with me that you can possibly think back to the times when you were growing up and you saw authority figures in your life just treat you anyhow. How did that make you feel? Certainly not so good. And sometimes you're even like, now you're older, you almost want to treat and justify your abuse, because that's what it is. Abuse of children and their emotions. Because you saw other people do it to you. But we can stop it now. We can draw a line in the sand and we can say, no, I'm going to treat children with respect, even as I discipline them, even as I correct them. And I set these standards for how I believe that everyone should be treated, and that is with respect. So now that I've laid the groundwork, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready for the 5 things that I think we must all remember as we relate to children? Remember, not just your children, every single child. Number 1, it is not okay to raise your voice at a child. It's not okay. And this includes parents, because sometimes it's just like, I just shouted. No, now let's put some balance here. You'd agree with me that sometimes you raise your voice. Maybe one thing happened, maybe there's danger, maybe you're just a little frustrated. Now, why I say it's not okay is that you don't want to make it the norm. You don't want to make it look like it's normal. There was this day my son heard me raising my voice at someone over the phone, and he said, Mommy, you're raising your voice. And I realized that because he had seen me model to him that I don't go about shouting at people. When he heard me do that, I remember I told him, yes, because I'm upset at the person, but I would later go back and say, but that was not the right way to behave. And I went back to apologize to the person. So just as you as an adult, you don't want anyone shouting at you. It's the same way too that with kids, don't normalize shouting. You will shout when there's danger. You may shout once in a while to maybe pass across a point, or maybe you just lost your temper, which is normal. But don't let it become the norm. Don't normalize it like, yes, I'm talking to a child, so I can raise my voice. Don't. Remember, you're modeling something to them, and we do not want that. Right? Awesome. Number 2, it's okay to say, I'm sorry. Don't just say the sorry casually, please. Say, I'm sorry, and you may even want to put what you're sorry for. Because we have trained our children to apologize to us, but we don't apologize to them. Our parents did that. Some parents in our parents' generation did that. But we're going to stop it. You can apologize when you're wrong. You're not above being wrong. So you can apologize to your child. It is okay to do that. It's okay to apologize to a child in your class. Oh, I'm sorry I did this. That was a mistake. That's such a powerful experience, learning experience for the child. The child will be like, wow, so my mom can apologize, so my aunt can apologize. You've modeled something so powerful to that child. So that child is not going to have issues apologizing in the future because you said the simple words, I am sorry. So I'm sorry, it's not just for children, it's also for adults. It's generally something that we human beings say to each other when we make a mistake, right? In the same way, it's not okay to hit a child, especially when that child is not yours. Now, when it comes to spanking and discipline, I am definitely a proponent of that. I spank my kids, but you would not see me spanking anybody else's child, especially not without their parents' permission. No, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing right, I beg your pardon, about that. So my issue with the lady at the dental clinic was that she had hit my child. Ideally, what you should do is you report to the parent, And in school, you can call the parent, or sometimes there's just a standing rule for what discipline looks like in a school. They could maybe spank you 2 times with a ruler or whatever thing it is. Just make sure that the parents know that you're doing it and you have the parents' permission and buy-in to do that. Otherwise, please don't hit a child. Now, I know that growing up, our aunties could hit us, our uncles could hit us, our neighbors could hit us, our friends' parents could hit us, but times have actually changed. You're just better off and safer reporting to the authority figure and let that authority figure handle the child. And if it's something you cannot control, then just put boundaries around how that child communicates with you. Maybe you could be like, oh, that child cannot come to my house anymore because the child keeps frustrating me and is not listening to instruction. Or you can say, this child cannot come to my establishment, my company, my hospital. Do you get? You can actually put those boundaries in place as opposed to hitting the child, especially when the parent is not there. And I understand that children sometimes need to be spanked. Like I said, I spank my kids, but I can't go and spank my friend's kids without her permission or without her endorsement. I can tell you this is what your child has done. I can, speak strongly to the child and take the child away from that situation, but I'm not going to spank her. I'm not going to push the child. I'm not going to, shove the child and hit the child. I'm not going to do that. And then sometimes we do it out of frustration, which is why a lot of people don't really buy into spanking, because sometimes we just punish and do it out of frustration. We don't necessarily teach a lesson, or you're not even disciplining for something that you have hitherto set the standards. You don't have any standards there, but you just come and spank the child and beat the child, and there's nothing is really learned there. But discipline and spanking can be done the right way so that you can deter future behavior, at least that particular behavior, right? So, but that's a whole nother conversation. My point is, my child can't come to your place, and if he's touching something and I'm there, you tell me. Don't just push the child. We just do it almost like you're irritated, like, just I beg, excuse me, I beg, get out. No. In the same vein, it's also not okay to speak disrespectfully and insult a child. Get out, shut up, you're crazy, you're mad. Well, it's not even okay to do it at all. Do you get? So don't do it with children. Are so impressionable. So if you keep speaking anyhow, you're just normalizing it, and we do not want that. Please, let's respect our children. Let's respect that. I literally just cringe when I hear stuff like big head, yeah, stupid, olodo. Don't do it. Don't do it to a child. Don't. Right. Okay. Number 5. Actually, that point of don't speak disrespectfully is actually a bonus because it's not even in my notes. So number 4 now is it's okay to explain why to children. I remember I was sitting with a friend, we're having a conversation, we went out together, and she was telling me how, her child just demands an explanation for everything. So she's not just someone you say, hey, Eziaha, sit there, and the child will sit. The child's like, why? Like, you have to explain to the child. And I understand that sometimes kids say why, and you really don't have to explain to them because they're children. They don't have to understand everything. Sometimes you just have to. Just obey me, because God does that with us, right? We don't know everything. From God's vantage point, there are times He just says a thing, and without understanding, I'm like, yes, sir. So it's the same thing that my children, sometimes they don't understand the full context, and I should not explain to them. But for a lot of times, we can actually explain. So when my friend was telling me, my child really wants to be explained to, I want to tell her, that's actually normal. That's what every child should have access to as just the norm. Don't just say, don't do this, don't do that. No. The beautiful thing is how you make your children start to think when you do that. Because you're like, when you say why, you're like, why do you can have a conversation. It's a beautiful conversation starter. Why do you think you should not do that? What do you think an excellent person would do? I teach my children a lot about being excellent. What do you think an excellent person would do? What do you think a child of God would do? Why do you think I'm telling you not to do that? The child you can literally just unlock levels of intelligence with a child when you explain why. So let's not do this lazy thing where just like, don't do it because I said so. No, not everything is going to be because I said so. Sometimes engage in that conversation, and it would amaze you where that conversation would go to. So please, yes, engage, explain why. It's okay to explain why. Just as you would explain why to an adult, treat your children with respect, and children in general with respect, and explain why at least most of the time, right? Awesome. And number 5, my goodness, this one is huge. I learned it from one of my beautiful mama friends. It's okay to greet a child. In this case, most times you are responding because the child should greet first. but it's okay to respond. Don't just say, good morning, good morning, thank you. That's even the funniest, thank you. Good morning, okay. No, good morning, ma. The child greets you. Hi, good morning, Ken. How are you today? Do you see? Greet them back. It's okay to greet a child. That is respect. And you're such a strong model to children as an adult that you don't even need to say, they see you do it. So I'm taking a walk with my kids and I'm greeting like neighbors, I'm greeting older people that pass by me, even if I don't know them, and I tell them the same thing. When I greet, you have to greet. Even if you don't know them, you have to greet. When my children greet me, I greet them back. Good morning, mommy. Good morning, King David. How was your night? I can't just say No, don't do it. Stop it. This is the last time you'll do that. Okay, stop it. When your child greets you, when a child greets your child comes to school, good morning, Miss Annabelle, maybe you're a teacher. You respond, hey, good morning, Eljan, how are you today? This is just beautiful. I mean, just think about it. How beautiful is this? So please, it is okay to actually greet your children. Greet children back when they greet you. Greeting is not food. Greeting is just normal respect for human beings. Okay, let me do a quick recap. It's not okay to raise your voice at a child. It's okay to say I'm sorry. It's not okay to hit a child, especially without the parent's permission or just reacting out of anger or frustration. Please respect and control your anger. Okay, number 4, it's okay to explain why to a child. It's okay. Sometimes, most times actually. And number 5, it is okay to greet. Respond to a greeting by also greeting the child. And of course, bonus, it's not okay to speak disrespectfully. You're crazy, big head, olodo. It's not okay. Okay, I want to hear from you. Which of these is like, yes, I'm going to stop doing it. I'm going to start doing it. Which one are you guilty of? Let me see, which one am I guilty of? The truth is that I've trained myself a lot to just respect my children. And having children makes you love your children, right? You want them to grow up to this healthy, well-rounded, balanced, socially, responsible children. So I've learned to, sort of incorporate this. So I just looked at my life and I brought it all out and I shared it with you. But let me know which idea, like, yes, I'm going to start doing it now. And if this video was really helpful to you, you want to share with any mama, anybody that you know. And please, you can subscribe, you can like the video, you can drop your lovely comment below. I'll see you in my next video, hopefully this time with a video. God bless you, and please keep living your best life. And finally, shalom, shalom. What is shalom, shalom? It means just perfect peace, because the prayer of shalom contains all of the prayers. God bless you.